One of the original founding members of the compact crossover segment, the Honda CR-V has found favor with countless Canadian families over its 23-ish year career. Now in its fourth generation and fresh from a refresh, is it still really that good? Is it still one of the best in the segment? Well, pretty much. Let's do the usual walk around and take it for a spin, and I'll tell you a little bit more. Now the CR-V I'm test driving this week is a 2020 model year unit, although the 2021s are already out and available. We'll blame this one on COVID also. Pricing is pretty much the only thing that's changed between 2020 and 2021. So speaking of pricing, base price in the US is $25,350 for an LX front wheel drive. And in Canada, the LX two-wheel drive is $28,905. In the US, all-wheel drive is optional on all trims. In Canada, it's only optional on the LX, standard on all the other ones. My tester happens to be a very brilliantly positioned and packaged Sport. So it's about a mid-trim model, and it's priced at only, and I do mean only, $36,105. In fact, this trim is not available in the US. What makes it different? Well, it's more of a visual package. One being the dual exhaust setup. That's right, dual exhaust on your CR-V. Also includes 19-inch wheels, which are kind of, well, they're gray, they're nice. It's also a trim, one of the first trims that you can actually get a color, yes, radiant red. It's actually a $300 option if memory serves. You also get LED fog lights, but you still get very conventional headlights, which are neither LED or HID, which for some reason I kind of like, but it's an odd packaging choice for Honda. As I mentioned, fresh from a refresh. So this is the 2020, the first year of the update. So it gets new front and rear bumpers, a revised grille, and interior bits, especially the center console. But otherwise, it is essentially unchanged from the model that was introduced in 2017. Also included for the price, we get a leatherette fabric seating, a heated leather steering wheel, 7-inch display inside. I'll show it to you in a moment. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, remote engine start, and well, that's pretty much it. Now, what makes CR-V a CR-V? It's how smart a compact crossover it is. Power tail, oh, I just locked it. Power tailgate, come on, you can do it. Power tailgate is included with the Sport, by the way. So that reveals 1,110 liters of cargo space, 39.2 cubic feet. This is why the CR-V is so popular. Actually, the load floor is on the lower setting. You can see there's a notch right there. So you can actually raise it a little bit or leave it at the bottom. Might as well leave it at the bottom because then that opens up these light dividers where you can stuff stuff into them. That's one of the bonus parts of this thing, because relatively speaking, it is in fact a compact crossover, right? Oh, come on, don't be like that. And yes, oh, well, here's another. As I open the door, I am reminded that this door, the back door, opens about 90 degrees or 89 or 88 or something like that. That makes ingress and egress so easy into the rear bench seat area, where your children will be absolutely happy. Visibility for them is reasonably good. Leg room is very nice. This is my driving position. There's a quick shot of the dashboard. So they have all the space in the world. There's no room for an adult between, or any person really other than a small child, in the middle of the back seat. Now sliding in front, these are these leatherette fabric seats, which actually look really, really good and are quite supportive. Very much like Honda knows how to do seats so brilliantly. Textures, not colors, well, kind of colors, textures, fit, finish. It's very lovely. It's very Honda. Honda knows how to do nice interiors. And I'm going to start it up, but you know what Honda does best? They wrote the book on interior storage. Okay, so you got a nice bin right there, your cup holders. this extendable armrest, right? You go all the way back, that opens up. Look at this huge area. But I'm not done yet. This slides back, and then up for even more storage. I love this about Honda products. They do storage so well. So I got a shot of the door bins right there. While I'm up here, visibility is quite good. The glass area is on a very steep angle, so you get a lot of visibility that way forward. And on the side, not that bad. You can look between the A-pillar, which is still relatively fat at the bottom because of the speaker and the mirror mount. But that opening saves the day. Now, gauges, very much like the Honda Civic. You have a mix of digital stuff and, well, it's all essentially digital with analog features built in. This is your 7-inch screen, which works generally well. Menus are fairly straightforward. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, I think I mentioned that. Shifter, talk about the transmission. Unfortunately, I have to bring that up. Otherwise, it's a very, very comfortable place to be. Oh, also heated steering wheel, yay. And just so you know, heated seats in the front. There's your USB port. The thing with the CR-V is that it's extremely roomy and very easy to adapt to. In fact, it's almost as though it was engineered and designed to fit any and all average families, and that's why it makes it, well, for a while now, the second best-selling crossover in Canada. And well, now we'll take it for a spin, and we'll talk about the pros and cons of that aspect. One of the highlights of driving a Honda CR-V from all generations, one of my longest early road trips I've ever done in my life was in a 1998 Honda CR-V. It was brand new at the time. Anyhow, what I'm saying is it's the driving experience. The Honda CR-V has always been very entertaining to drive. It's always had a great chassis setup. It's got a multi-link suspension in the rear. It's always had some generally peppy engines, but not all is perfect today. And this is not due to me enjoying the driving experience so much as that when compared to previous Honda CR-Vs, well, okay, I'll just get to the point. CVT. I know it's like that poor dead horse that we keep beating on all the time. I get it. I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing about it, and Nissan products and Subaru products and Honda products. But the thing is, despite potential known issues with the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that is located under the bonnet, which still produces a credible 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. I mean, the engine is all there, and the transmission is designed to give you the efficiency and leave you in the fatter part of the power band at all times, which it does, but thing is that it behaves like an old school CR-V, which means it just pegs the RPM as you accelerate. It doesn't do any step shifting, or it doesn't have any pre-programmed gearing, if you will, which generally makes CVTs more than tolerable, in fact. But that's not the case with this one, unfortunately. I suppose the upside is that with all-wheel drive, which is Honda's real-time all-wheel drive system, which is a reactive system, essentially unlike GM products where you're going to press the button to make it happen, this one, while it's a front-wheel drive vehicle until it starts slipping up front, sends the power in the back, and Bob's your uncle, and you're out of those 3 inches of snow. So what was I saying? Yes, CVT. We'll just do it right now. I'm not going fast enough or accelerating hard enough. So bad example. Point is that it does that and it's annoying, but the 1.5 liter engine has plenty of pick up and go. Yes. The advantage to the CVT is that without even really trying, you'll average 8 liters per 100 kilometers in this vehicle, which is not bad at all considering the size, the weight, and the capabilities, cargo and people capabilities that this crossover SUV has. That works out to about 29 miles per gallon. So that's that's great. Ride and handling is still really good. Steering is fine. There might be a little bit of on-center play, which is not unusual for a lot of vehicles, but and this kind of brings me to who actually buys and drives these. And, well, the fact that the CVT will peg the engine RPM at 5,000, for example, if you're accelerating hard. Most drivers will not experience that because they'll never push their CRV that hard, and, well, the steering will always be fine. There's another thing kind of related to all that, which I enjoy about Honda for some of their models, is that there are no drive modes. They're not pretending, oh, that's not true. There's an Econ drive mode, which I haven't tried at all, period. The only way to modify the drive is by going into S for the transmission, which only makes engine revs higher. 1.5 isn't exactly that docile, refined, or quiet, so that's not even something you want, and that's it. So essentially it's prod the button and put it in D and off you go, and you never really think about anything else. And that leads me into why the CRV is so popular. There's a simplicity to the product, to the packaging. It's just all there, and you move in and you live. There's nothing special or unique about the SUV. It's just that everything you need as a family is incorporated, built in. And dare I say that the sport version with the power hatch and the heated steering wheel and a few other aspects makes it the shoe-in. And if you like design a little bit, well, you got the wheels and the dual exhaust that are more enhanced than the standard ones, is what I should have said before. And it's still great to drive. It isn't, unfortunately, as reliable as it once was. It does have the issues, like I said, with the engine and a handful, if that, of other little bugs. It's no worse than most other products, but its past reputation is essentially what precedes it. And I will close on this, I promise. There's something smart about buying a Honda CR-V or a Toyota RAV4, in fact. If you buy one, like all your neighbors, CR-V or RAV4, you made the right choice no matter what. No one will say, you should have got a Ford Escape or I don't know, an Eclipse Cross or something. No, you got a CR-V. You got a RAV4. So that begs the question, I promise this is the end. CR-V or RAV4? I still prefer the RAV4. I think maybe this one is a tad quieter, the engine, despite the 1.5 being fairly noisy. But the RAV4 overall is still my more favorite small crossover. It also happens to be Canada's favorite small crossover. That's it.